I want to direct your attention to a blog post that I just posted in the description. The title is New Movie, Transcendence, Humanities Next Evolution, Grand Mutation, 2020, Singularity, Self-Aware Technology, Awareness is the Ultimate Reality. And I'm also going to talk to you about a article called Simulating the Human Brain is Marching Forward. I'm going to touch on some items in that article, and I'll post that in the description as well. I want to let you know that when I do these podcasts, I don't edit them really. I do a little bit editing now, but very little, and so it's more of a fluid sharing. It's not. I do follow somewhat of a script, but in order to make sure that I cover most of the points. But even in that context, I fail to cover everything. So this is by far not a polished sharing. And because so much information is coming in to me vast and fast, it's kind of hard sometimes to keep up. I thank those of you who are making comments and thanking me for my sharing. Sometimes I feel that I may be a little harsh on all of you, but when I really speak to you about doing the inner work, I don't want to sound like I'm preaching. It's just that because that's simply not the trajectory that we are moving on. You are to become the inner guru, and I'm going to have to assume that you all are doing your own inner work, and that you're here because what I share resonates with you on some level, and it would have to, especially when you have someone that's telling you that the mind and the thought process is not your own, and that you are captured, your essence is captured, and you are captured and living through this existence of what many will call reality, and yet it is a dream. It's someone else's dream that you are living. So those are pretty far out concepts or ideas that I'm sharing, and I only share that perspective. That's why this is called Deep Truth, because these are the deeper truths of what I'm learning. And so if you can withstand that kind of information and what I share here, it's evolving and changing. And so I know that I'm going to lose people. And I lost a number of subscribers to this podcast or this sharing on YouTube. Honestly, it says that I have over 1,000 subscribers or 1,200 or so. I don't believe that, and I wish that they would just, if YouTube is listening to my audios, which I doubt they are, because the vibration is way too high. I wish they would eliminate all those subscribers, because that's truly not a real reflection of the people who listen to these audios or these YouTube videos. Because over the past 2.5 years, I have shared at different levels, and I would say that most of the subscribers that are reflected and those that have viewed, I've had over 200,000 views on my videos, are really the alternative media, low-level vibrational sharing of information and the trajectory that I was on. And so when I say that the alternative media is a socially induced platform or construct by the power control force, you will come to know the truth of that as well. A lot of people, I think, that unsubscribed to me recently or just after my last video audio, unsubscribed because that didn't resonate with them. They didn't like the fact that I said that the alternative media is socially induced awakening, and which it is, and they didn't like that I said that. And that's okay. I'm not here to make you feel good in the sense that the stuff that I share is quite provocative. I do say that, it truly is a glorious time. I mean, the energies in the past couple of days and always are so profound and quite magical, if you want to look at it from that, or feel it from that perspective. Everything is coming in so fast, and so as I evolve and change, the people that come and listen will evolve and change, and there will be some of you who leave, and that's okay. And if I say things that don't resonate with you, that's okay. It's just a sharing. Just take note of that. And it's what could potentially be happening is that I'm hitting on something that maybe you need to be working through. Most people who come to work with me after they have hit rock bottom. So that should tell you a lot. It's like they are desperate. And so, that's just the nature of who I am and how I am learning to be in this world and to continue to be in this world, despite the fact that I really feel that there's no other reason for me to be here other than to share in this capacity. I have no desire at all to be on this earth plane other than to assist people. I spend very little time in communication with anyone. I spend most of my time by myself because there's really no one that I can share with. And so if you can understand at all that when you get to a place where I am, there really is no reason for me to be here. Other than to help and support people. And, some people could say in the moment, well, that's pretty bleak. And I would have to say, it's not. It's just that I'm just having a different experience, and that's what keeps me here. I'm able to ride the energies. I'm expanding the awareness that I am. I'm learning to manipulate energy. I'm learning to be in this physical world and understand and experience an alternate reality as awareness. And so I'm not as caught up in the day-to-day mundane aspects of this physical world. And I really feel that I can make a contribution, albeit very small, in the area of supporting people to do the inner work, because that is what is going to help you to thrive and survive this chaotic situation that we are in. And that is to delete the programming, delete the thoughts that you keep you bound to this system. And so when I talk about doing the inner work, really it's about doing that excavation type of work called the core theme work. Working on your core themes, those triggers that keep you locked into your own drama and trauma. And they're basically programs that we're all running off of. And if you can remove that programming that you're running on, delete all those belief systems that you carry along with you, all your baggage, your luggage, and your belief systems, your programming, and the traumas which keeps you locked in this reactionary state of paralysis that keeps you bound to this third dimensional construct through the personality aspect of you, the ego aspect of you. If you do that work, it's going to free you up so that you can have a deeper, grander experience. Because so many of the human species, of humanity, will not do that work. You have an advantage of knowing a lot more than most people in this world. Imagine that. The majority of people who are going through major pain and suffering right now in places like the Middle East and Africa don't have the information that you have and are able to understand at a deeper level what is going on. They are caught in the system, believing that everything that's happening to them is a result of unforeseen circumstances. And so they are caught in a lie. Whereas when we start seeing things happen over here in North America, because they are going to happen, we are going to have much more information and understanding, a deeper understanding of what's transpiring here. And so it'll put us in a position of being able to prepare, to take care of ourselves. So that's the advantage that you have, is the opportunity to prepare. And by doing the deeper inner work, the more of us that can do that work, do the inner excavation work, and remove and delete all this programming, this conditioning, this cultural system that we've been born into and bombarded with, that is not a reality of our own choosing or making. It's a reality that's been spoon-fed to us. If we can delete all that programming, come to know self as awareness, and experience the glory and beauty of the unfoldment of your own individual and collective unfoldment, then you can be here. You can live here, live out the rest of your existence here, and create a utopia of your own making and choosing. And so that's really where I'm coming from here. So let's look at this new movie, Transcendence. And let's take a quick look at a definition of the word transcendence so we can see how it relates to what is emerging through the collective consciousness of humanity at this particular time in our history. And then let us review this word in the context of the upcoming movie of the same name, Transcendence. Transcendence, of being entirely beyond the universe, not a living being. Now, from the perspective of awareness, true freedom is freedom from identification with anything that we are conscious of or aware of. This freedom comes from sensing and identifying with that spacious awareness field within which we experience all things outwardly and inwardly. Awareness is not the same as what is often called mindfulness, for it includes awareness of all that we experience as mind and mental activity. Some traditions say that awareness itself is God, understood as an infinitely spacious field of consciousness, and is the source of all being as the eternal core or essence of our being or higher self. But in all honesty, you truly exist as awareness beyond any concept of God or the universe. You are, as the word transcendence implies, a being entirely beyond the universe, not a living being. And you become aware of this through an enhanced awareness of space, which can be experienced as boundless expansiveness awareness field. And it's through this awareness that we experience our own spiritual core of essence as a powerful center of awareness within that field. Now, when I often speak of the grand cross or this grand mutation that is to take place in 2020, with the Saturn-Jupiter conjunction enters the air sign of Aquarius, this is what so many are referencing as humanity moving into the age of Aquarius, from my perspective. And there will be a shift in which there will be a shift in consciousness. That shift is already happening. And I want to say that consciousness and awareness are two separate things. Consciousness is molded and shaped through this existence, through your existence in this dimension. Consciousness is experienced through the ego aspect of you and is shaped by your culture. So your level of consciousness is shaped by the culture in which you were born into, and it's shaped through the ego aspect, the personality, the five senses, right? However, awareness supersedes consciousness. It's outside of this realm of consciousness. There are different levels of consciousness that you can experience within this universe. However, awareness supersedes everything that happens within this universe. Awareness is the ultimate reality. Awareness is what creates this universe, what creates this galaxy and the solar system, this planet, and all things that we experience in this physical dimension. Now, this grand mutation is disguised as a 2012 Mayan calendar end date, and is said to have already occurred. So that's the deception that is taking place, and how I believe that the power control force manipulated events to occur in 2012, and there was so much energy around 2012, and in order to manipulate our future, the future events to unfold. It created a lot of fear around this 2012, but it really is because, remember, they're going under the Egyptian calendar, and so we're actually in 2007, not 2014. And so 2012 per se will be 2020. And this is how they manipulate our future. It'll be interesting to see if we hear much about this 2020 event. These are just markers. The evolution of consciousness is happening each and every moment, we are experiencing. Do you notice how things are, you have that sense that things are really speeding up? I know for myself that as awareness, I'm coming into more gnosis, more knowledge. And it's happening very subtly, but it's very quick. It's very quick. And so it's going to be really important for us to really tune into the energies, because the power control force is going to try to keep us from knowing or experiencing our own unfoldment, our own individual and collective unfoldment. And they do that by creating all this chaos and mayhem on the earth plane, and with their scripts and narratives and their rituals. So this Mayan calendar end date is said to have already occurred, and that is until January 2013. And it's so interesting that we hear nothing about that anymore. About the 2012. The end date came, nobody talks about it anymore. Created all kinds of hysteria and fear on this collective consciousness of humanity, and ultimately nothing happened on a grand scale. It's all internal, nothing happened on a grand scale on the physical world stage. And so that's what they do. They create these events, these markers, in order to direct our attention and manipulate future events. So everything is set in place for when this 2020 event, all the fear and hysteria and the apocalypse and the Armageddon and all that energy is now within the psyche or consciousness, or the collective consciousness of humanity. And so when 2020 comes around, that fear will just percolate into the collective consciousness in 2020, which is the actual date. It's amazing. It's still a little challenging for me to explain this kind of stuff, because what I'm seeing is it's just not even explainable about how they're manipulating our future, how they are existing in a different timeline than we are, and how they're manipulating our future that way. It's just quite incredible when you learn this stuff. So what we will see in 2020 with the grand mutation is an acceleration or convergence of a singularity. Now, we've been hearing about this a lot, and hopefully by then fewer people will be able to be manipulated. This singularity is just really a coming into the gnosis that you are awareness, that you supersede all of this. You supersede your existence here on this earth plane. In the grand scheme of things, as awareness, when we look as awareness on the totality of this universe, and this galaxy, and the solar system, and this earth plane, it is so minuscule in comparison to who and what you are as a creator being. It's a small aspect of the totality of who you are. You are a creator of worlds. You have that capacity. And so when you can see and experience this physical world from the perspective as awareness, you can experience the grandness of the totality of who you are. And it will, for many, seem quite magical that you could actually be more powerful than this universe, than the universal architects that created this universe, that the universal architects that created this galaxy, this solar system, these planets, and this earth plane, that you supersede all of that. And you have the capacity and the ability to create worlds. Imagine that. Imagine coming into the knowing of that. What you would be able to do on this earth plane. How you could change the circumstances on this earth plane. How you could create an alternate reality on this earth plane. In the blink of an eye. That's the capacity that you have. That you are waking up to. That the power control force is trying to circumvent. They don't want you to create your own reality. Because if you do, game's over. The game is over. It truly is. So when Jupiter and Saturn conjunct in Aquarius in 2020, we will certainly see the greatest changes in technology on this earth and the control of the air. That meaning the air element in relation to airwaves, air travel, technology, communication, and information. Now, if we look to the upcoming movie Transcendence, which is due out on April 17th, which I thought was quite an interesting date, 2014, around the same time as the Palestine-Israel peace talks finale. So start looking into the news and see what's coming out, the information that's coming out about Palestine and Israel. I've been hearing little bits of information here and there, so it's tweaking my interest. And also in conjunction with the lunar tetrads transpiring this April. So we can see it speaks to this grand mutation. I speak of above as far as the technological advances. Now, but also in terms of your own personal and our own personal and collective metamorphosis that we are in the midst of, that we are truly being provided a grand opportunity, a wonderful opportunity to transcend all of this. Transcendence, to transcend all of this. So I love it when they put these movies out, give us clues and cues as to what is coming. So the movie synopsis. A terminally ill scientist, Johnny Depp, downloads his mind into a computer. This grants him power beyond his wildest dreams, and soon he becomes unstoppable. Yes, that's what's going to happen for you. You're going to become unstoppable. But you're not going to download your mind. You're going to become aware that your mind, the thought process, and thought is not yours. And you're going to detach from those processes and use them to your advantage. That's the opportunity. Transcendence marks the feature film directorial debut of Oscar-winning cinematographer Wally Pfister. He's the guy who did Inception and the Dark Knight movies. I thought that was interesting with the Dark Knight movies because I've talked about Dark Knight Rises and that theme that keeps playing over and over again. That narrative, the mythological storyline that plays out over and over again. Dr. Will Castor, Johnny Depp, is the foremost researcher in the field of artificial intelligence. Here we have a reminder of transhumanism. He's working to create a sentient machine that combines the collective intelligence of everything ever known with the full range of human emotions. His highly controversial experiments have made him famous, but they have also made him the prime target of anti-technology extremists who will do whatever it takes to stop him. However, in their attempt to destroy him, they had inadvertently become the catalyst for him to succeed to be a participant in his own transcendence. And I put a couple of links to some of the trailers. And I said in one of them, what if, from the movie trailer, this is what it says, what the character is saying. What if all of our accomplishments and achievements could be learned in mere minutes? What if humanity's next evolution wasn't human at all? I liked this comment in the trailer, as Morgan Freeman states, what happens when an artificial intelligence becomes self-aware? This is a subliminal from the masses mirroring artificial intelligence, which is awareness, with awareness. The awareness is the ultimate reality. I say, what happens when you as awareness become self-aware? That's what I'm saying. Now that is the real question that the power control force do not want you to seek and find the answer. And they live every waking moment hoping that you never come to know the truth of who you are as awareness, and disguise the innate power within you with artificial intelligence or their transhumanism agenda. The opportunity for you to embrace your own transcendence has never been more possible than now. It truly is a glorious time to be alive. I mean, if you pay attention, there are signs all around you to confirm the truth of this. And that is through your own experience, through your own metamorphosis. Now, another comment from the trailer that I wrote down here is the path to building superintelligence requires us to unlock the fundamental secret of the universe. The path to building superintelligence requires us to unlock the fundamental secrets of the universe. Yes, that's what we are to do. As awareness, we are to understand the situation in which we find ourselves in, understand how this universe was created, the universal architects that created this universe. And in the script, in this trailer, Johnny Depp is saying some very definitive words here. Imagine a machine with a full range of human emotions. You are a machine. See, humanity doesn't understand. We are machines. This human body is actually a machine. But we say we're human beings. We're machines. You have to look at your human vehicle as a machine that awareness is just using. It's technology, self-aware technology. That's what self-aware technology is. You are a machine. You're a machine with a full range of human emotions. Just like this guy is talking about, we need to imagine a machine with a full range of human emotions. That's you. Its analytical power will be greater than the collective intelligence of every person in the history of the world. Yes. As awareness, your analytical power and collective intelligence within you as awareness is greater than the history of the world. I mean, he's speaking to who and what you are as awareness. Some societies refer to this as singularity. I call it transcendence. So these are the words from the character in the movie, but I'm just kind of reflecting back to you, really at a deeper level, what they're telling us, that they don't want us to really know, but they tell us, they give us these little nuggets. So we just believe that it's something fictional. It's beyond our reach, right? That's how they give us the information. They put it in these stories. They put it in these narratives, these fictional narratives, so that we believe that it's beyond our reach, that it's something outside of our comprehension of what is possible for us, so that we do not actually awaken to that inner gnosis and knowledge within ourselves. Fascinating how they manipulate us. So in the movie trailer, Johnny Depp, as the character, falls to the floor. As you'll notice in that trailer, his character falls to the floor, and notice the word on his arm. It says unplug. It's written on his arm. Yes. And that's what you're to do. You're to unplug from this matrix. And how you do that? You do the core theme work. You do that inner excavation work. That's how you unplug. You delete all the programs. Delete, 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 delete. All your belief systems. Delete, 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 delete. I love it. Detach from the system. Unplug from the system. It's a requirement to reach your transcendence. However, once you have arrived in the knowing of who and what you are as awareness, you can reintegrate self as awareness and plug back into the system in a way that honors you. You can plug back into the control system and create a world of your own choosing, your own making, and mold it and create it. That is truly the opportunity before you. It truly is. I love it when we get confirmation from our external reality of what is possible for us. You are self-aware technology, and don't let this physical world and all its deceit, lies, and transhuman agenda tell you otherwise. The Jupiter-Saturn conjunction will symbolize a paradigm shift, and it's just a marker. It's just a marker where the old rules are overthrown by events and discoveries, and the world will be seen in new ways, with new rules being written, new concepts taught, and with new goals, and more importantly, new awareness. So I like that, doing this piece. But the other thing I want to mention to you, which ties in on this line, is, and how the power control force are manipulating things, is that I'm going to post this article as well, is there's research that's continuing on simulating the brain and on the human brain. And so sellers are betting that consumers want machines that understand them. This bet has implications. Human-to-human interaction is just too complicated and unpredictable, is what they're saying. Watch out for these things. I'm going to just highlight some of the things that stood out for me in this article. You can read the whole thing yourself because I don't want this to be too long for you. I understand that most people are only able to listen to about 18 minutes of what I share, and then they're tuning off. That's what the stats are showing me. But in all honesty, that is a result of what I'm sharing here. So the one major stumbling block that they're finding with regards to simulating the human brain is that the emotional range of an alive and alert human is too wide, too stubble, and too varied to embed in a machine that is supposed to stand in as a friend and companion. The response to this problem, as the power control force is seeing it, is to reduce a range of the human user. This campaign has been underway for some time. Watch movies, watch television shows and video games, listen to popular music, listen to the politicians. It's all about reduction, simplification, lowest common denominators. That's what I'm finding a lot with the people that I work with. It's like they want everything to be simplified for them. And I'm just like, you're on a path of initiation. You're on a hero's journey. You cannot simplify that process. You have to undertake that process, and it will take some time. But the mindset is quick, fast, instantaneous, bits of information. Attention span is very short with people. And so we have to be careful about falling into this trap, because otherwise we lose our ability to come to know ourselves as awareness. You need to be able to listen to the full range of what I share. If you're not able to, you're turning me off after 18 minutes, well then that's just information for you. It's information to let you know that the system has really got you under their thumb. They're not going to tell you what you need to do in order to transcend this existence. The system is designed to keep you immersed in it because you are a source of fuel for the system. They are not going to tell you how to transcend it. Yet all the literature, all the myths speak to transcendence. If you look back in history, everything is so repetitive. All the major religions all speak to, the Bible speaks to the physiological aspects of the human experience and the opportunity for people to transcend. But people take the Bible now literally, but it always spoke to our ability to transcend. But now people take allegory and myth as God's word, and they not able to see through all that, to know that the Bible really speaks to what it takes to transcend, speaking to the mind and this kundalini, this Shakti energy that you are to unleash within at the base of the spine in order to transcend all of this. It speaks to that. The Bible speaks to that. Do people know that? No. So you see, the individual is too complex for this new machine age. So this is the dilemma that they have, the power control force. The human being's range of feeling and thought must be diminished. You hear me out? That's what they want. Eventually, the human being is going to interact with a sophisticated talking computer and feel right at home. That's their agenda. He'll believe his emotions are being mirrored and appreciated. Because interacting with other humans is just going to be too complicated. Well, in all honesty, they talk about the zombie apocalypse. It's very, those that are waking up, those that are coming to know themselves, and those that are going to be experiencing very traumatic de-evolutionary path, you're not going to want to be around those people. It's going to be, your safety is going to be the first thing that you're going to be concerned about. Moving forward, if you're not already, there's going to be people who are going to be going off the deep end, and you're not going to want to be around them. So it's going to be about preparing yourself for that. I mean, that's the reality that we're moving into. Because the energies that are coming onto this planet, which I'll have to speak more about, I've talked extensively over the years about the solar activity, the solar revolution, really, that is causing this grand mutation. It's causing you to mutate, this mutation within yourself. So if the electromagnetic fields around the Earth are changing, your electromagnetic fields are changing, and I've talked about this. I was interviewed in an article, and I'll post as well in this description. If you haven't read it, I was in an article written by Kindred Spirit, a UK alternative healing publication about consciousness and the solar activity. It's a little bit out there, but that's what we really have to be focusing on here. So if you ever studied infomercials, this is from the article, you know that the whole business is based on back-end sales. It's not the product you buy for $19.95. It's a product they can hook you into after you spend the $19.95. So it is with Google Glass. This Google Glass, I've talked about Google Glass. It's a new product that's coming out. It's all about the apps that'll be attached. That'll be attached. Google Glass gives the wearer shorthand reality as it taps in. That's what it's for. The user is on the go. If he's driving his Lexus and suddenly thinks about Plato, he's not going to download the full text of the Republic to mull while he's crashing into big trucks on the New Jersey Turnpike. He's going to take a shorthand summary, a few lines. People want boiled down info while they're on the move. Reduction, the essentials. This is perfectly in line with the codes of the culture that we're moving into. Ads, quick hitter seminars, headlines, 2-sentence summaries, ratings for products, news with no context, stripped down. So that's what we're moving. That's a culture that we're moving into. You can read the rest of this article. So Glass app is also being heralded as a step forward in machine human relationships. With recognition services like Google Now and Siri, when computers and human users talk to each other, the computers will be able to respond not only to the content of the user's words, but also his tone and his feelings. This should be a real marvel. The emotion recognition tool is all about reduction. It shrinks human feelings to simplistic labels. Therefore, what machines say back to humans will be something to behold. Yes, so notice how he's talking about human emotions. Yes, it's your human emotions which are so suppressed on this earth plane, which is causing a lot of the destruction. It's the unattended to emotions that is causing the major destruction on this planet, and that is the shadow work. It's all these unrepressed needs that have not been met on a human level. It's the shadow aspect. The shadow has not been addressed on this physical plane, and so we are experiencing the very dark aspects percolating. It's like this purging on this physical plane. So, just to close out here with this article, the most profound kind of mind control seeks to eliminate the gap by encouraging us to mimic technology. That means people will think and feel less, and what they think and feel will mean less. Eventually, significant numbers of people will tailor their self-awareness to what the machines point them to. Name, label, and declare, thus inventing reality. It's a very good article. Gotta read it. Very good. Again, people will mimic how machines see them and adjust their human thinking accordingly. So if you give a child what he wants, when he wants it, every time, you become a slave to your child's immediate needs. And when you're exhausted from this routine, just set him in front of a television set where he can experience fast-cutting shows, then train his brain to accept a shortened attention span. Again, more reduction. It's easy. And 30 years from now, a child won't even want his parents because his companion, friend, and guide, his personal machine, a little cube he carries around with him, will understand them so much better. So that's what we're moving into. Good article. I really like it. So hopefully you can tie both of these together, this movie and this other article, and see how the power control force are trying to circumvent your ability to come to know yourself as awareness, which is the ultimate reality, and retain or attain the wisdom and knowledge that is inherent within you. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this Olympic ring that went out at the Olympics. And if I have some other information, we'll talk about that in the next little while. But I'm only going to share about this Olympic ring because I haven't seen the opening ceremonies. But this Olympic ring that didn't light up was on the opening ceremonies, which seems to have hit the news. That's very symbolic of the 5 rings is symbolic for me as to the elements: earth, air, fire, water, and ether. And I think that the ring that didn't show up is in reference to ether. That is the 5th element that is going to be very significant with regards to this singularity and the evolution of human consciousness that's taking place, or the revolution, the solar revolution that's taking place. It could also signify the 4 horses of the apocalypse, which is really the 4 directions, which is really reference to the solstices and the winter solstices and the equinoxes. It could also be a reference to the 5-pointed star. It could also be a reference to what I've talked about on a number of occasions, is that if we look at the chakra system of the earth, Russia represents the 13th chakra. And I'm going to probably do a post on this quite shortly. If you know that in 2010, the last Olympics we had, in 2010, Canada was the, or Vancouver, Canada, representative of the first chakra, which is Mount Shasta. And then we had 2012 Olympics in Britain, which is the heart chakra. So interesting how the last three Olympics are very significant in terms of the grid system on the earth. So I'm going to be talking more about, because this is the information that's coming becoming more prevalent to me, and what I need to be talking more about is these planetary alignments, the solar activity, and the vortexes. There are new portals opening up all the time, and so we as a species have to learn how to use this energy that's coming onto this planet so that we can manipulate our reality here as awareness and create the utopia in which we want. And how we do that is through the energies, and how we can tune into these energies that are bathing our planet so that they can support our evolution and metamorphosis. So once you do the inner deeper work, the core theme work, and you do the inner excavation, and you clear out all those belief systems and all those thoughts and negative thoughts and your traumas and dramas, once you delete all that programming and conditioning, then your physical vehicle, your machine, is clear of all that, and you can allow these energies, these new energies, to bathe within your system uninhibited. Because when you delete all that programming and delete all those beliefs and all those traumas and dramas by doing your core theme work, you are able to raise the frequency within your physical being, and you remove a lot of the fear that propels you in this system. When you remove the amount of fear that's running through you as your physical machine, and you delete all this programming, then what's available? You have a clear vessel in which you can withstand these energies that are wanting to mutate your physical vehicle. You are able to expand self as awareness through the physical vehicle. That's the opportunity. And so when we can tune in and look at or understand and comprehend when these markers are coming up, when these portals, these gateways are opening up for these energies coming onto our planet, and we can align ourselves when these energies are coming in, then we can allow these energies to bathe our machine, our physical vehicle, as awareness, and experience this. Then we can manipulate our reality here. That's the opportunity. And we use the astrological wheel and these planetary alignments as a way to support our transcendence here. Beautiful stuff. So this is kind of trippy stuff, but this is what we need to be doing. We need to have more control, or a deeper comprehension and understanding of our own unfoldment. And so that's what I'm going to be sharing as we move forward here. Truly, truly, all to be doing. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to join me on Facebook, it's KERRACE Alexander. I do post there from time to time. And thank you for all of you who were able to stick it out with me for the duration of this sharing. This is a very long one. Whoa, 49 minutes. Let's see if you can stick it out for this. Thank you so much for tuning in. It truly is a glorious time to be here. There's so much opportunity, so much to share, so much to learn. But truly, just prepare yourself for your own unfoldment. We can change our reality in this auspicious time. It's just a glorious time. So hang in there, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.